Welcome into Mike LaTulip's film room. Time to break down a big win over Purdue as we get ready for the Big Ten tournament. But a third straight win for Illinois. And just when it felt like things were slipping away, a 10-point deficit, and then you call them all the way back, you tie it, and then Purdue gets a 5-point lead with about 3 minutes remaining. And then Mike, Illinois ends on a 13-1 run. It was fun. Let's relive it and break it down.
A lot of resolve. Showed a lot of resolve in this game. But yeah, I wanted to show just probably the most crucial part of the game. You're down 5 with 2:45 left, and find a way to close the game in a big way. And the baseline out of bounds and the sideline out of bounds has been really had an uptick. Feels like
the blob has been good all year. The slob, not so much.
Not so much. Yeah. Yep. I would agree. But here, I mean, sideline out of bounds. We'll go through it here, but they enter it into the long post to Tomislav and really just go. This is what you would call like split action, where the guy on the wing goes down to set a split screen on KJ. But this is why it's great to have a guy like KJ. And I always said when you have a really, really good player, that player has gravity. And so they want to switch this off ball, but Braden does it too early. So because he does it too early, he opens up an avenue for Trey to slip, and then really both of them jump out at KJ. They communicate the switch late. It's a really good pass by Tomislav. Heidi comes over for a foul.
That was the makeup, I believe.
It felt like it. And it needed to be because the 3-point, the one on the 3 in the first half was egregious.
I looked at Piper
and half, it was egregious.
I looked at Piper and go, they got to make that up at some point. So we'll see when it is.
Well, that's why I was frustrated during the game, because all you need to do was drive the basket after that foul.
Yep.
You were going to get any call you wanted, but they took I think they took 2 threes like the next 2 possessions. But so here you go, 77-75, 2.5 minutes left. Now you're going with the lineup with Ben at the 5, who I thought did a really admirable job on Trey Kaufman-Renn. And this is why Purdue is so difficult, because it's not only just, hey, go and set a ball screen. There's always an action that precedes the ball screen. So that's what not only puts strain on Ben, but it puts strain on Kylan too. But Kylan does a really good job trying to skinny up here and get through. I'm saying skinny up, turn your shoulders, don't give him a big target to hit, slip through, great. Fight over the top, square back up. Now he knows he wants to reload and come back off the screen. And he didn't anticipate it. Like that's why Kylan's so good, is the second he went to reject and kind of stopped. If Kylan shifts his feet and jumps up and tries to get through first, then Braden can just reject and go right. I mean, this is tight, dude. It's like Trent Frazier, man.
Mm-hmm.
Fight over the top. Good from Ben. That's how drop coverage should look. Don't let your man get behind you. Great. This is quintessential how it should look. You stay in long enough. You don't let your guy get behind you. You let Kylan come back to square it up, back up, and then you return to your guy. The issue is here, Ben just, use your hands. He reaches a little bit and just spin cycles Ben. And Kaufman-Renn's a really good player. I mean, he's tortured pretty much everyone in the Big Ten. So Ben's pissed, as he rightfully should be. I talked about this on the podcast, which was like a really, really cool moment, I thought. After he gets scored on, they said, Will Riley, Iverson cut over the top, enter it to Ben. Great. Can we get KJ downhill? Cox does a really good job. I thought for a lot of the game, he did a good job on KJ. But they get it back. And now when Kylan and Ben go into this exchange up top, you get the switch, and Braden, just like Braden does, Braden will kind of be a rover and go hunt steals, getting gaps. He tries to kind of sit in that gap on the nail. And this is great from Ben at 6'8", 6'9", go down and knock down the shot. Braden doesn't even get a contest, hits it. But again, Brad calls a timeout, and the clip cuts out here, but Trey White runs up to Ben Umrickhouse and is like pumping him up, and heck yeah, man, big shot. And Ben's shaking his head because he doesn't care about the 3. He cares about the possession before where he got scored on. I mean, he took that personal. And so he's shaking his head, and he kept saying, he's like, we got to get stops. We got to get stops. And he knew that one was on him, and he took ownership of it and eventually was a part of a really big play to end the game, which I thought was really awesome and growth in a lot of areas. Just a microcosm of this team, I think, taking on that challenge defensively.
And the rest of the game, they got stops.
Yep, exactly. So here we go. It's, again, the action that precedes the actual ball screen. There's always some sort of chip screen or a ram screen or, Ben, if it's not only just you going to guard the ball screen, you got to navigate some sort of down screen, ram screen, screen before this actually happens, this exchange happens. But Kylan does a good job of fighting over, bends and drop. But I just love the way Braden and Trey Kaufman-Renn hurt them early in this game. Look at the help. Nobody's extended out on the ball side, worried about shooters. We'll rotate and have to deal with it. Trey's in a great spot to where if Braden somehow knifes past Will and KJ has to commit, that's a sink and fill for Trey on Caleb first, to not allow him to either get a lob, a dump off, or even an offensive rebound, like swim over to get position. Trey's ready for it if it happens. So, you pack things in to the point where, they want to play that two-man game and throw back to the cleared side. So that's what they do. They throw back to the cleared side. Ben meets him. Great from Kylan. Stunt. And this is trust. Like, you got to have trust here. And if you're going to go trap, and they'll get better at this the more that they do it, but if you're going to go trap, especially from, you got Ben here, and then you trap from the top side, you need your low man, KJ, good. Occupy the low man underneath the basket. And then you need somebody at the nail, which should be Trey, and then somebody to cut off ball side over here. That's how the alignment should look. It's not perfect. Trey kind of skips Trey Kaufman-Renn skips immediately. And then you rotate out of it. It's not a great closeout from Trey, but just keep scrambling and just keep playing with effort. Good. Great. Go again. Now stretch Trey to cut off ball side there. Anticipate that. And then these guys will zone up on the nail and under the basket. But you get a contest on it. Yeah, outstanding block out from KJ. Mm-hmm. Just get first out of there. Okay. Now they got the rebound. So now you got to kind of reload. We'll show here. Shot goes up, get the rebound. Got to reset. I'll let this play.
The whole point, Mike, get the ball out of Trey Kaufman-Renn's hands, right? Like, that was...
Get it out of his hands. That's really good here from
Ben.
From Kylan. Fight over the top like he does here. He anticipates it. Fights over. You got to fight to square back up. Great gap help from Trey. They really shrank the floor, I thought, in the second half, which made a huge difference, because Braden and Trey are going to want to be the guys to kind of have this moment late. And if you're Matt Painter, that's the guy you want, to have the ball in their hands anyways. But it gets Braden to pick the ball up. Again, KJ doing a great job on first down there. Ben, this is how it should be done, man. Absolutely how it should be done. Again, they get the offensive rebound. And then as this play plays out, again, I love the gap help from Trey. KJ is occupying first. Will's packed in. And this is the way it should look, right? If Kylan can't square it up and Ben gets the contest, I talked about it. You can't have two guys contesting and leaving a guy for offensive rebound. That's great from Kylan to go and sink and fill and hit Kaufman-Renn. And now Ben doesn't have to worry about wrestling with Kaufman-Renn. He's just got to worry about going up and getting the ball. And he does a great job of trying to high point it. First ends up fouling him. I don't know why first didn't think that was a foul. It's definitely a foul. Just really big minutes from all these guys defensively late. Again, the action before the action. Here's another twirl, ram screen. Fight over the top. Kylan, great. And this is probably the defensive play of the game, because Kylan's beat. Ben has to stay in it. And Trey Kaufman-Renn, he's reading Ben and saying, well, man, if I get this ball, I'm going to have the angle to go and cut him off. But Ben does such a good job here. I'll get to Will, but Ben does such a good job of returning, not leaving his feet, show your chest, hit, and that allows Will to come in and make a play and say, because again, I've talked about before, if you're going to help from the strong side and the ball side, there better be some sort of collision. Something better happen. You can't just run in and show your hands and let Kaufman-Renn just drive and kick and throw it out to Cox for a three in the corner with 1 minute left. Just huge play. And great anticipation from Will. I talked about in the podcast, like his anticipation at his age is just next level. So now you want to close it out. Iverson cut over the top for Will like they have. You have somewhat of an inverted ball screen here with a small and a big, but I mean, Will's really a guard or wing. Now they're switching everything late. Great. You got a 5 out there that you're going to have to switch on. So KJ gets the switch that he wants. We want to clear the side as much as we can. So we're going to vacate Trey through. Kylan's going to be short corner, ready to rebound if the shot goes up. Braden's going to try to play this gap. Ben spaces out. You want Cox to have to think about not being able to press up on KJ. And Ben had already made a couple threes to this point, which is why. And I don't need to do a whole breakdown on KJ. Like, I mean, how many times have we seen this, man? Over and over again. Just wanting the big moment. And I'll start the clip over again just so that you guys can see it. Because beyond what we see from KJ in the shot, watch Kylan and watch Ben Humrickhouse when the shot goes up. Kylan's down there wrestling with Trey Kaufman, but watch Ben Humrickhouse here from the corner. Like he is, if that ball comes off the rim, he's got a legit shot to go get that ball and add another possession. But Kylan obviously hits, or KJ obviously hits the big shot.
Dude's 2 of 9 at that point, 1 of 6 from 3. Yeah. And I'm sitting there on the sideline going, I think I want Will or Kylan with the ball in their hands. And I'm an idiot because why would you take it out of KJ's hands given what he does at the end of games? I
think no matter what happens in the first 39 minutes of the game, I think KJ's got enough to draw upon this year. He's like, I've done this over and over again. Missouri game and UCLA game. And there's time and time again he's made just massive plays.
And Trey made a good point. He was not smiling. He was not whooping up the crowd. He was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he's done it. Yeah, he's done it. So, now they go to a high ball screen. Kylan does a great job fighting over the top. Again, I mean, it's just great ball pressure, man. I mean, I know Braden missed some shots late, but Kylan really got into him, I thought, late. Now you got a big gap here. Super smart, man. Super smart from Ben. Understanding, okay, we got Trey Kaufman-Renn bolting like a missile down the middle of the paint. I cannot contest this shot. Even though there's space in between Kylan and Braden, if he makes it, he makes it. What I don't want is a second chance opportunity because I left a free run to the basket for Trey. So Ben does a great job there. Stunts, and his main focus is like, I got to box out. Puts a body on Trey Kaufman-Renn. KJ's able to root first, I think, underneath the basket enough. And then, Will puts a body on Cox. It was really textbook stuff, I thought, to finish the game with this defensive group. Now Ben's up to touch. They want to go almost like Spain action here. Spain action, you're setting a back screen on the ball screen defenders or the ball screen setters man. The reason why that's tough is once you set this, there's no one to help for Trey Kaufman-Renn. There's no one to get back on Trey Kaufman-Renn, and it's a shooter setting it. So Trey White feels like, well, I got to stay with Fletcher Lawyer and not leave him, in a 2-possession game. So they just find a way here. Ben stays long on it. And again, doesn't contest there. Go our main, we just want to secure the rebound. So he goes and puts a body on Trey Kaufman-Renn. Will gets in there to tap the ball around and game over. Huge.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, Braden Smith taking 2 decent looks is kind of what Purdue wanted. Didn't make them, but playing 40 minutes a game, and as you said, Kylan making them feel uncomfortable and chasing them around, right? Like Braden didn't come off the court. So
no, he made it difficult on him. And I thought just like throughout the course of the season, Braden kind of wore down. And again, he missed some of those shots that he does normally make. So, but I thought Kylan did make it hard on him there in the last 3 minutes or so.
Mike LaTulip, thanks for making us basketball smart as always, man.
Appreciate you, man.